Okay, this is our very first video, and in this video we're going to just talk about an arithmetic topic of adding and subtracting whole numbers. Now, although I'm going to do some of it right here on the screen, you may use a calculator in this class, so feel free to get out a calculator, and if you have trouble dealing with the calculator that you own, you can ask the teacher that's on duty. Okay, when we add and subtract, we have to line up, which we're going to actually be lining up where the decimal point would be, although there is no decimal point showing, because these are whole numbers. So if we have 75 plus 12, their decimal points would be over here on the right-hand side. So they are what's called right justified. All right, I just add the 5 and 2 for 7, and add the 7 for 1 and 1 for 8. If I do it on the calculator and I put in 75, hit the plus key, the 12, and then the equal key, I also get 87. So in this answer box, you will type in 87. In the next one, we have a 2-digit number 62 and a 3-digit number 117, and we're adding them. Once again, we right justify them. 2 and 7 makes, 9. 6 and 1 makes 7, and there's nothing to add to the 1, so I bring it down. I can check that with my calculator. 62 plus 117 equals 179. So I will put in my box 179. Now, problem number 3, whoops, come back. So sorry. All right, I'm not sure what you might have seen in that. Well, I hit the wrong button. All right, we're going to add, and these are rather large numbers. The first one is 36,239, and we're going to add to it 682,990. All right, you can see once again that I have right justified these. So 9 and 0 is 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. Write down the 2. Carry the 1. 1 and 2 makes 3, and 9 is another 12. Carry the 1. 1 and 6 is 7, and 2 more makes 9. 3 and 8 is 11. Put down the 1, carry the 1, and I get 7. I put the comma after the first 3 digits, comma, 3 more digits. If I had any more, I would need another comma. So I will double check that with my calculator. 36,239 plus 682,990, and I get 719,229, and that's what I would type in to my answer box. All right, now we're going to do a couple of subtraction problems. With these whole numbers and subtraction, we also right justify. So you can see that I have right justified them. Right away, I have to borrow in this. I can't take 9 away from 6. So I borrow from the 10s. I borrow a 10 from the 5s. That leaves us with 4 of those. I take that 10 that I borrowed. I write it as a 1, 6. So now I have 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. And 4 minus 4, well, it's 0, but I don't put a 0 leading my number, so my answer is 7. On my calculator, if I put 56 minus 49, I do get 7. All right, I'm going to have quite a bit of borrowing in this next problem. I have 8,000, and I'm subtracting 145. So we will be talking about something called borrowing across zeros. All right. I can't take 5 from 0, so I go to borrow, but there's nothing to borrow. And I go to borrow, and there's nothing to borrow. And I finally get over here, and I borrow, and now that is a 7. I give the 10 hundreds, which is 1,000, I give it to the next place. Now it's a 10, but I need to borrow from it. So I borrow, and it becomes a 9, drop it there. I need to borrow, that becomes now a 9, and I drop it there. So when you borrow across zeros, you end up leaving a trail of 9s. All right, now 5 from 10 is 5. 4 from 9 is also 5. 1 from 9 is 8, and I bring down a 7. So it looks like I get 7,855. I can check it with my calculator. I put in 8,000 minus 145, and I get 7,855. When I type these into my math lab, I don't need to put any commas, no matter how large the numbers are. So if you went back up to this problem where I had this comma, you don't have to include it in my math lab. All right, let's look at number 6. It says, Evelyn Abrams is reading a 617-page book. If she has just finished reading page 587, how many more must she read to finish the book? I hope that when you see that we have a total of 617 and we have completed 587, so that means to subtract. Okay, how many more is subtract in this case? I'm going to use my calculator off screen. I'm going to type in 617, subtract 587, and I get 30. I could have done that with, I could have said 7 from 7 is 0. I can't take 8 from 1, so I would borrow, putting the 1 there. 8 from 11 is 3, and that's it. It is 30 pages more. All right, let's look at our last one. It says in the year 2013, there were 3,592 clothing stores in a particular country and 2,846 located outside the country. How many clothing stores were located worldwide? And this is of a particular clothing store, I suppose. All right. There were this many in the country. There were this many outside the country. How many were there everywhere? So it doesn't have any guide words, so you're going to have to just use your common sense. There were this many in the country. There were this many outside the country. So we are looking for, even though it doesn't use the word, we're looking for the total. So we have 3,592, and we're going to add 2,846. Once again, I'm going to do it off screen on my calculator, putting in 3,592, this time plus 2,846, and I get that there are a total of 6,438 of these particular clothing stores. This is a total. That's all the questions that we have. When you use your calculator, please let me recommend that you put it in, you get an answer, you clear your calculator, and you put it in again and completely redo the problem. That way, you will hopefully avoid any just key press errors. All right, good luck and do section 1.1.